Hey guys, Courtney here with Courtney's Customs, and today I'm going to show y'all how I made this 3-level tumbler with glitter and vinyl and water slide, and there is a lot going on here, so let's get right to it. So I'm starting off with a sanded and prepped 20-ounce skinny straight, and I'm going to take this painter's tape here, and I'm going to cut a couple pieces. I'm going to do one at a time because I want it to be a little bit thicker than this, but this is the thickest tape that I have to kind of cut off my section here. And I'm going to go almost in the middle, not quite, just slightly down from the middle. And tape off my stripe. And I want it to be just a little bit thicker than that, so I'm going to cut off another one and kind of just overlap it a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. So now I'm going to spray paint this section up here white, and then I'm going to paint this section down here blush from Pop of Color. So I just spray painted the top white from Rust-Oleum, and now I'm coming down to the bottom with a makeup brush. And this is blush from Pop of Color, and it's a very pretty neutral, almost like a rose gold kind of. Now I'm going to immediately remove this paint, or I'm sorry, the tape, while the paint is still wet. And now I'm just going to set this aside and let it dry. So now I'm just going to go in with Terracotta, which is also from Pop of Color, and I'm just going to paint this middle section here. Now I am of course going to try my best to not get this paint on, you know, the other paints, but if it happens, I'm not going to panic because I will be putting stripes of vinyl in between these two sections. So if it's not perfect, it will appear perfect once those stripes go on. Okay, so that is close enough for me. Alright, so it's the next day. I haven't done anything. You do not need to wait for the next day, but I kind of ran out of time working out here. So it is still just the dried paint, no epoxy, and I'm going to move on to the glitter that I want to choose. So for the bottom here, where I put the blush Pop of Color paint, I'm going to be adding Stellar Rose from the Glitter Grind. And then where I added the Terracotta Pop of Color paint, I'm going to add French Beige from the Glitter Grind. And then where I did white Rust-Oleum spray paint, I'm going to be adding Flicker from the Glitter Grind. So this is all going to stay pretty neutral. And whenever I show you guys the decal I'm going to put on here, it's going to all match up really, really well. So now that everything is covered, I'm going to seal it really good, probably at least 2 coats with 2 times Rust-Oleum clear, and then I will add 2 coats of epoxy and come back and show you the next step. Alright, so there's only 1 coat of epoxy over this, and it is not as smooth as I want it to be, but this area right here is really super smooth, so I'm going to move on enough to do this, and then I'll add more epoxy. But this is the clear holographic leopard or cheetah print vinyl that I have on my website. As of right now, the day I'm filming this, I don't know about, you know, the time that you're watching it, but as of right now, it is sold out. I have more on the way. It should be here within the next few days. But I just cut a strip of it. I'm pretty sure I cut it too short, but I want to put it over this portion. So, like I said, It does not have to be perfect because I will be applying some vinyl stripes once the epoxy is smooth enough. So sorry I was talking and not explaining. I just peeled off a corner and then placed it down, and I'm very slowly working this all around. And I'm going to go through with an X-Acto knife and trim up what is overhanging onto the rose gold. Alright, so it is not completely perfect, and I will be putting some more vinyl stripes over it, but that gives a little something something going on there in the middle. So now I'm going to add one more coat of epoxy and then come back tomorrow to show you the decal and the vinyl strips. Okay, so now it is decal day. So this is some textured vinyl, gold textured vinyl, that I've cut into roughly 11.5 inches tall, which I know is going to be too long, but we can trim it. And 0.2 inches wide. And all I'm doing is lining this middle piece here to make it look cleaner and to just give it a little more detail. So now this is the water slide decal that I'm going to put on. I found it on Creative Fabrica. I'll have a link in the description. I think it's going to pull it together perfectly. And this was printed on Courtney's Customs water slide paper. So I'm just letting it sit in my water for like 30 seconds or so until I know it's good and ready, and then I will put it on the tumbler. Also, this cup cradle that I'm using to keep my tumbler straight and stable, this is from Bama Cups, and I will have a link for them down in my description as well. And you can use code Courtney, all caps, for 10% off. So now I'm just laying my water slide face down, adding a little bit of pressure and sliding the back off. I'm going to go in with my squeegee, make everything nice and flat, no wrinkles, no water bubbles, air bubbles, and there we go. So now this just needs to dry for about an hour, and then I'll be adding 2 coats of epoxy and coming back to show you the final result. Look how cute after some epoxy! I love it. I would say the only thing left to do is to maybe add an extra coat or 2 of epoxy, but I mean, it's done, and I love the neutral tones. I just think it is overall a really cute tumbler. Before I go, like always, I do have y'all's cup of positivity for the day, and today's quote is, "There is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it." That was said by Amanda Gorman. That's all I have for y'all today. Let me know what you think. And like always, if y'all have any questions, please feel free to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Be kind, love one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!